Welcome to another episode of Deep Cuts. I'm Scott Barber. In this video, I'm going to show you how I like to set up my mix session. There's a few really simple things you can do before you even start mixing that'll have a big impact on the way your mix sounds at the end. It'll also be a lot easier to organize and automate, and you can use a reference track to make sure you're on the right path. Let's check it out.
Okay, so here I have a track that I recorded recently, and I am going to set up the session so that I can mix it, and I'll show you the way I like to organize my session. First, I'm going to get the colors right. Click on the tracks, select them all, and then decide on a color you like for your drums. I don't really have a preference. Some people have a real organized thing, but I just kind of like to visually see them being different. Here we have some keys. That's all together. We have a guitar, samples, vocals. Make those the same. Okay. And then put unused tracks maybe to the right of the master section. I'm going to slide this shaker over to the drum area. Group those together. Okay. Don't need the click right now, so I'll put it to the right of the master bus. And then if you don't need these, there's different things you could do, but I'm just going to put no output, so I don't know, the gray out. Don't have to worry about them. Bypass the sends. Make this its own color. Sure. The next step is going to be to create groups. So one way you could do it is you click on the output of a track and you say new track, and then this window will pop up. I'm going to say stereo. I'm just going to all caps title it drums. Okay, so now you see you created a bus, and then you could select the rest of the tracks together. I press shift and option, and then you bus them to drums. Now they're all going to drums. Now the next thing I like to do is create a track that goes before the master that all the individual buses are bused to. Kind of like a mix channel. I call it, what I just do is I call it pre, but you could kind of call it whatever you want. I see different people do different things. That's just what I've gotten used to for myself. And so now you see the drums. These drums go to drums, and then from drums to pre. And then I usually slide this over to right before the master, because this is going to be set to go to the master. And now this is going to be what I put all my bus effects on, like my mix bus compression or my tape saturation or anything you want to have on this. You could have that. And there's a couple reasons why I do this. One is that it operates differently than having buses on the master track. But two, also I like to use reference tracks. So I'll get to that in a little bit, and you'll see how that works. So we created drums. We have bass. I'll create a stereo bus that says bass. And I just kind of do it in all caps because that helps me visually see things. And then you can put your bus groups all together here kind of towards the end of the session. Okay, we got keys and strings and samples, and for now I'm going to bus those to one place. I'll just call it keys. Create that. Great. Next we've got a guitar. Just gonna make it just guitar. Excellent. We got vocals. I'm going to create a track called Vox. Oh, I messed up. I like to use all caps. That's better. Okay, vocals. Okay, so here we have these are sent. The vocals are sent to a reverb, and I like to make an effects channel. So I'm just going to call it FX. Again, these names are just what I've grown accustomed to for myself. You could call them whatever you want, but this is the way I do it. So now you see we have all these groups together. I'm going to give them their own color. I'll give the pre its own color. And make sure that these are all getting sent, the buses, to the pre channel. Okay. Wonderful, wonderful. So we have our groups. For example, we have our drums all going to the drum bus. Bass going to the bass, etc. Keys, guitar, vocals, effects. And this can be handy if you're going to make stems for somebody, but it also just comes really handy when you're automating tracks later. You can turn these up and down, and you can put individual elements on the buses. You know, you can take your drum track and you can put an EQ on it, or I love using the SSL on drums. It's got that good glue, the good punch. Then you can put effects on your master bus. I've been using the Pultec a lot for the EQs. You know, there you go. And now I'm going to show you one last thing I do before I have a session. Alright, now the last thing I do in a session is I'm going to import a reference track. And basically I find a song that's been professionally recorded and mixed that sounds good, that sounds like what I'm going for. Something that's going to be a good comparison for this song. Now you could do one reference, you could do two references, three references. Everyone has a different thing. I usually just go for one. And now you can see one of the advantages of having this pre-channel as well is you can send all of your tracks through bus processing on your pre-channel, and then have this track, your reference track, have no effects on it when it goes through your master. If you had all of these effects on the master channel, you wouldn't be able to cleanly listen to your reference. So that's something to keep in mind. Another thing is you're going to kind of want to volume match your reference track because it's been mastered. You're going to want to kind of turn it down, get it at a good level. One way I could do that is by opening our friend the meter. We have the Klanghelm VUMT, and then you basically just, it's set here to -18, and you can just play your reference track until it gets kind of around 0, and then that's how I know I'm going to be working at the right levels. So that's a little rundown of the basics that I like to go through before I start my sessions.
As you can see, it's pretty simple just to do a few things before you even start mixing that'll have a big impact on your sound, make it a lot easier for you. There's not one way to do it, but this is the way I've come to do it. So please share if you have a different way of doing it. Maybe I could learn something. Leave a comment below, like and subscribe to the channel. My name is Scott Barber from the Barbershop Recording Studio. I'll catch you later.